fragile eggshell mind. Blood in the streets in the town of New Haven. Blood stains the roofs and the palm trees of Venice. Blood in my love in the terrible summer. Bloody red sun of fantastic LA. Blood screens the brain and chop off the fingers. Blood will be born in the birth of a nation. Blood is the rose of mysterious union. Dead blood in the streets, it's up to my ankles. Blood in the streets, it's up to my knee.
Peace Frog.
Blood in the streets, the town of Chicago.
The Doors. Who are your influences and heroes?
Influences in my life, probably the obvious ones, like my father. Quite easy, kind of normal ones, I suppose. I suppose I didn't really realise how much of an influence that he was in my life till my own son came into my life, you know. Just how, you know, the relationship I've got with him. My father died when I was 15, so I suppose I missed out a big bit of his life, you know, and he missed out on a big bit of mine. I suppose as you're growing up, you know, your teenage years, and, you know, between the age of 15 and now, or until my son came into my life, you know, I didn't really think about that kind of thing. But as I say, when I watch how I'm with Jude, and I just look at the relationship I've got with him, and I think I just see the two of us doing wee things, you know, and it just kind of takes me back about, you know, how much time I put for him. And my father was obviously an influence in that part of my life, you know what I mean? So definitely an influence. Hard worker as well. Another influence in my life, Billy, would have to be my Uncle Eddie. Now that I've went all arty, as I say, as a result of what happened, you know, with him, that's how this kind of all started. And as I say, the guy was a genius. With a brush and some paint, and as I say, he continue with his stuff. I wanted to do it right, you know. I wanted to put my all into it. I wasn't wanting to settle for second best with it, and that's how it's kind of panned out. I just wanted to do my best with it and follow, you know, the skill that he had. Obviously, I'm cheating a wee bit, and it's all kind of digital stuff and all graphics and stuff like that, but in the same vein, you know, putting these things together, I looked at all the stuff that he had done and wanted to make it as good as what he was doing. So yeah. He would definitely be another influence, and especially what I'm doing just now, you know. So aye, my Uncle Eddie. In a Celtic sense, the guy that took me to my first Celtic game, my Uncle Golly, James Donnelly. It's his fault I'm a Celtic fan, I suppose, you know. I think I was age of 7 or something. My dad had a bad accident, and I'd always heard about my Uncle Golly against Celtic daft, and he came down to the house to visit my dad, and he came into my room, and I had just everything all there was. I used to do this mad thing where I wouldn't put posters up. I would cut, you know, the outline of the player out of a poster or out of the paper, and I would just have millions of these all in the room. Bit weird, but so what? and he came in and he started things. He's talking to me about Celtic and stuff like that, and obviously I was annoying him because he knew everything about Celtic. He said, "You fancy going to a game?" And I was like, "Wow!" And away we went to the first game. So that's when the kind of love affair started, I suppose, with Celtic. So he was a big influence in my life. He was one of the kind of elder Celtic fans that he just had this thing about him, made an aura about him, you know. And heroes, it feels a bit weird talking about heroes when you're 40. In my book, you shouldn't really have heroes by the age of 15, you know. My first Celtic hero was Charlie Nicholas. Right. And I mean in an obsessive kind of way, you know what I mean? It was a wee bit worrying at times, I think, for my parents, how daft I was. And Charlie Nicholas, absolutely adored the guy. Just followed him about every waited outside the ground for his autograph and all that. Just mad stuff, really. And my uncle, who was into the artwork in the sports shop in the town, and he used to always get me the strips as they were coming out, and he knew certain players and stuff like that, and he would get Charlie Nicholas to sign them. And I had everything to do with Charlie Nicholas, you know, and I was really devastated when he went to Arsenal. It crippled me. really, really badly. I suppose you could describe me as a bit like, you know, a Sevco fan that still pretends that the club didn't die, you know, that sort of stuff. Because when I can remember seeing him in an Arsenal strip for the first time, and I was in total denial that he'd even left Celtic. You know, that was how bad it had got. So he was my first hero, really, you know, Billy. And I've held many Celtic players in high regard since, but I suppose as a real hero growing up, you know, and he was probably the biggest hero that I ever had, you know, and it just wasn't the same when he come back, you know.
No, it wasn't.
But he, the only other kind of hero I had as a teenager and stuff like that would have been Ian Brown for Stone Roses. I was a bit obsessive about him as well, you know what I mean. Seen him at Glasgow Green when I was a young boy, and seen him again at Glasgow Green there. So he would have been my other hero if I had to pick one, you know.
Okay, that takes us to your third song.
And song 3 is by Primal Scream, another band that I did really get into and I still listen a lot to, and the song is Don't Fight It, Feel It.
Right, John, what are your earliest memories of going to Celtic Park?
My first game, I think it was in season 1980-81. I was 6-7 at the time. It was a 1-1 draw with Airdrie.
Right.
Charlie Nicholas scored a penalty. Can't remember anything about it. I was just awestruck, overwhelmed with my uncle taking me to my first game. I can remember we used to park I think it was in Springfield Road. There was a wee old school as you come up for Farm Cross, and it got knocked down many years ago. It was a kind of sandstone building. I can remember it very, very clearly. We parked in it every week. It had a wee kind of driveway run about it, and you went down, into it. And I can remember walking up to it. There wasn't a big crowd that day. I had to look this up years and years later because I could never remember it. I can remember there wasn't that big a crowd, and I was just overwhelmed with the whole day, and just that excited. Because when I was growing up as well, as I say, there wasn't an abundance of money about. I was very fortunate. I used to love going into school on a Monday because I would be surrounded. Nobody really went to the football then. Nobody that age went to the football then, and there was I think it was only me really in the class that was getting took to the football, and Mondays were great because I was a superstar, and I got to tell people about the game and stuff like that, and never missed a game, went home and away everywhere. My Uncle Golly, the wee green Skoda, it was brilliant. It went everywhere. Aberdeen, Kilmarnock, it was great. I had some fantastic memories of following Celtic then, but as I say, I was kind of young. I suppose the first biggest, earliest memory I had of Celtic was the night we beat Sporting Lisbon 5-0. That night just blew me away. I'd been to a European tie before that, but that just sticks out in my memory what happened that night. I think they were leading 2-0 for the first leg or something. I really got the bug by then. Something happens to you when you get down there. You just get that something, and I can remember getting in that night and knew something special was going to happen, and it was a one